Hi, this is Matt from Educraft.org. So if you have a Mac or a PC or whatever, you've installed your stuff. You've got Eclipse, you've got Forge, and you typed your Gradle commands properly, and so you're ready to go. And if you open up Eclipse, you're going to get your workspace going, and it's going to be in that Eclipse folder in your Forge folder. Right, so now we're ready to go. So in this video, what it's going to be about is it's going to be about the best way to set up your modding system. So when you mod in Minecraft, there's the best way to organize your code to get a good starting point. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how to do that. Now you got two options. One, if you really want to know how the code all works together and get some little tips about Java, you can follow along with me as we create our classes and packages. Number two, you can go to our website that we'll link to in the description, and you can just download a zip file with all the classes and packages already put together, and you just drag that, and you can take that src file and just drag it into Forge and replace the one that's already there. Okay, so two options. There's the easy way, where if you just want to get started on your own thing, sure. There's the little bit more involved way where you follow along with me. Okay, made your choice? Okay, now I'm going to show you how to create your packages and classes. After installing Eclipse, downloading Forge, and typing in your Gradle commands, establishing your workspace, when you run Eclipse, it should look like this. MDK example, and then when you open that up, you have that main Java, and then main resources, and you have this package here. That's a package. It looks like a bound brown package, and inside that package is a class called example mod. This just comes when you download Forge, and to be honest, you don't need it. So we're just going to delete the whole package, and we're going to replace it with stuff that we are going to type. It's okay, don't be afraid, just delete it. Now what you're going to do is you're going to right click or control click depending on your computer and go to new package under that source Java main. This is going to be an MDK example slash whatever slash main slash Java, and you're going to type, okay, you don't have to do all this. You're going to type basically the name of your mod, and I always add org.educraft before it. So this is cool mod, org.educraft.cool. You can call it whatever you want. Traditionally, you use your website as part of your Java name. Now you're going to add a new class. So you right click or control click, go to new and go to class. And it'll be in that package, org.educraft.cool, and you're going to call it ModMain. Classes typically are named with capital letters. So the first letter of each word is capital. So mod is capital, the M in mod is capital, the M in main is capital. Capitalization matters in programming. That's an important lesson to learn. Okay, so in the ModMain class, we're going to create these things called methods. They're basically little things that do stuff. And we're going to do this thing called the @ event handler, capital E, capital H, which is called an annotation. I'll explain that later. And this is a method. It's a public method. It's a void method. I'll explain that later. It's pre-emit. Methods begin with lowercase letters, and subsequent words have uppercase letters. In the parentheses, FML pre-initialization event, space event, and then you have those curly brackets. Okay? So I copy the whole thing and I paste it again. And I do that another time too. So I want 3 of these. I'm going to change 2 of them. So this is going to be from pre-init to just init with a lowercase I, and get rid of that pre in there. And this is going to be post-init. Lowercase p, capital I init, post with all caps, because it's getting from a class called FML post initialization event. Okay, you'll notice there's errors. There's little underlines, and there's these little these X's with light bulbs by them. And now the light bulb means it has an idea of how to help you. So sometimes you can get help by simply clicking on that light bulb icon. Okay, so we're going to see what it wants me to do. So I click on that light bulb icon. It wants me to import event handler. You see, sometimes when you try to use some information from a different class, it wants you to import that class in order to have that information. So that solves one problem. I imported the event handler, so that event handler annotation's done. Now what does this want? It wants me to import FML pre-initialization event, because there's a class called pre-initialization event, FML pre-initialization event that I'm using. And I still got those two other errors. Now I could just click on them, and I could do this for each one to get the initialization event and get the post, or I can just do a quick key shortcut, Control-Shift-O, or Command-Shift-O if you're using a Mac, and that imports everything that it thinks you might need in Eclipse. Alright, now we're going to make another class. We're going to right-click on this org Educraft cool, or whatever you have it called, and we're going to create a new class. Go to New Class, and we're going to call this class References. Alright, this is a class that's not going to do a lot of stuff. It's just going to hold some information for us. So we go into this class and we're going to add some code. And these codes are constants. So what we do is we call them, they're public, meaning any class can access them. They're static, meaning they don't change. They're final, meaning no one can change them. And they're strings, meaning they're words in quotes. And you name them with all caps. So I have mod_ID, which is CM for cool mod. I have name, which is cool mod, and I just make it look right. By the way, each of these lines has to end with a semicolon in case you didn't notice. Okay, another string, it's called version. This is not the Minecraft version, this is the version of the mod, and even though I'm entering a number, it's still a string. It stores it as a string, which is something in quotes that it just moves around. And last, it's accepted versions, and this is the Minecraft stuff that it works in. And so it's also a string, but notice I'm using square brackets, and in each square bracket I'm going to list a version of Minecraft this mod should work with. This code that I'm entering now should be compatible with any version of Minecraft 1.11. And don't forget to end it with a semicolon. Alright, now we're going to create a new package. So we're going to go to org Educraft cool, go to new, go to package. And in org Educraft.cool, you already got half of it written there. You're going to add another folder. It's going to be or package.proxy, Proxy. This is going to deal with the proxy settings in Minecraft. Even if you're making a single player mod, you have to deal with that. So the first thing you're going to make is called iCommon Proxy, capital I, capital C, capital P. Now this is going to be an interface. It's like a class, but it kind of just stores methods as a template for other classes. So you're going to have the method, or you're going to have a pre-init method. Notice there's no squigglies. You just end them in semicolons. You're going to have an init method, and you're going to have a post-init method. And notice the second word is capitalized, first word lowercase. And one more thing to make this work, see there's errors right there, because it's like, hey, there's no squigglies in these methods, and what's going on in these methods? Well, it's because we have to inform it that this isn't a class, it's an interface. So it's public interface, iCommon Proxy, and now that is going to be the sort of method template that classes are going to be able to use. Okay, again, no squigglies, semicolons. Alright, now we're going to create two real classes, so right click on that same package, go to new class, and we're going to have common, or client proxy, capital C, capital P. Alright, and another new proxy, or another new class, is going to be, you're going to right click, go to new, class, server proxy, capital S, capital P. With those new proxies now, you're going to open up the client proxy, and we're going to tell it that it's going to use the iCommon proxy as a sort of template, as it's called a implementation. So your client proxy is going to implement iCommon proxy, meaning it's going to use those methods. And so now there's an error because it's like, hey, where are those methods from iCommon proxy that you said you were implementing? So if you just fix that error, say implement methods, add unimplemented methods, it'll put them in. And notice now there's squigglies on those methods. They look like regular methods. Well, that's all you have to do here. Now go back to the server proxy and do the same thing. It implements iCommon proxy. You'll get an error saying, hey, where are them methods at? Add unimplemented methods, and boom. Now you got your proxies. Okay, so now we're going to take care of things in the references class. There's a couple of more constants we need now that we have our proxy classes. So inside of that references squigglies, you're going to add another constant, a public static final string, just like the other ones, and this one's going to be called client proxy. I just don't like that all class. It looks ugly, but it's what we got to do. And now you're going to type in the packages that it's located in. So in mine, it's org.educraft.cool.proxy.client.proxy. Now, if you didn't follow exactly what I did, you have to know what package system you have it set up in. So if you're confused, just copy me. If you feel like you got a handle on it, feel free to make it your own thing. So you're going to do the same thing with the server proxy class, org.educraft.cool.proxy.serverproxy. That's where that, there you go. That's where that class is located. So now this is set up so that we can take care of things in our ModMain class. So go into the ModMain class and we're going to add the stuff that we need here. Okay, so we're going to finish up the ModMain class by adding an @mod. This lets it know that this lets the code know this is our ModMain class. Mod ID, all lowercase, equals references dot mod ID, all uppercase. Notice how we're typing the class that constant is located in, dot, and then the constant. So name equals references dot name, all uppercase, and accepted Minecraft versions equals references dot accepted versions. I didn't spell that right. Just start over. There we go. Underscore versions. Consistent spelling is important in coding. Okay, so now that's a way we got to import our mod annotation, and this is a way that now Forge knows this is our main class. This is where it's going to find our initialization events, which is what we need. So we add another thing, @instance with a capital I. Annotation is an instance, and it's a public static main instance. What we're doing is we're creating an instance of this very class. Okay, now we do a thing called cited proxy. This is a means by which we are going to deal with the fact that Minecraft runs client and server code at the same time. So client side equals references, no, lowercase, there you go, dot client proxy, or dot client underscore proxy underscore class with a comma, and server side equals references dot all caps server underscore proxy underscore class. There we go. And maybe some of you were yelling at the screen, but I forgot to make class all caps like it is in my references class. Now we're going to type public static I common proxy. We're going to create a variable that stores an I common proxy type, and it's called proxy. And we end that with a semicolon, because that's what you do when you declare a variable. And now I just hit Control-Shift-O to import everything, and you want to make sure you import the stuff that has Minecraft in the name, not the other random Java stuff. Hey, you gotta change this. If you just go with main, it will crash without running. You gotta type ModMain. There you go, because this class is called ModMain. Okay, if you don't have a lot of experience with Java, this may have been a very confusing moment for you. That's okay. What I'm going to do is, if you just want to move on and start making items, start making blocks, start making stuff for your mod, skip the next video. But if you want to get a good idea of how these classes are working and why things are set up the way they are, you do want to watch the next video, because modding in Minecraft isn't just about, I mean, it's about what you want it to be about. I mean, if you just want to follow my steps and copy what I do, but then just change the names for your own stuff and change the textures for your own stuff, then yeah, skip the next video. But if you want to kind of have an idea about how this works so that you can get kind of creative on your own and try to make your own mods kind of unique, I recommend watching the next video just to kind of see why things are the way they are. So that's it for this video, and next video is going to be explaining these classes. You'll skip this next video if you just want to get on with it, start making items and blocks.